What's going on, everybody? It's Wolf94. So, like I've mentioned in my previous Pokemon rant, it has been a while, but I am playing Pokemon Yellow. I'm still playing it, catching Pokemon with perfect or close to perfect EVs and training them. All kinds, all of the best Pokemon like Starmie and Alakazam and Ninetales. Ninetales wasn't one of the best, but I like it. Like Almost Star I like very much, and all these Pokemon. I'm just catching Pokemon, the Pokemon in the game with good DVs and training them and shit. And it got me thinking about the EV system in Pokemon Yellow. When Ruby and Sapphire got released, basically almost everything they introduced was for the better, and I still think the changes they've made for the stats and the EVs and shit is probably better. But the idea of being able to play the story and just knock out any Pokemon you want without worrying that the EVs are going to go to wrong places just has more appeal to me. So for those of you guys don't know, I'm going to tell how I play Pokemon now these days. When new Pokemon games come out, I basically almost never, no, not almost, I never like play them the conventional way I used to. I'm not able to play the story with a bunch of Pokemon that I know I'm going to be training if they're not going to have any competitive value. What I always do, what I did in Sun and Moon, what I did in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, and in Black and White too. In Black and White you couldn't do that, and in X and Y. But what I did in those games is that I had, you know, Pokemon hatch from X, Pokemon that I know, okay, these Pokemon have perfect stats, or they're competitively, uh, you know, able, they have competitive perfect stats, and I knew, okay, I'm going to play the story with these Pokemon, so that when I'm training them where they're getting experience, when they're leveling up, and where they get to a certain level, I'm training Pokemon that have that have value, besides the story, that I'm training them for something. And it's a pretty crazy thing. It's a pretty OCD thing. Uh, Obviously, a lot of people don't think that, but it's just me. I don't really want to. Like I didn't even use like the starter and shit in Sun and Moon and all that stuff. I just don't use any Pokemon if they're not perfect training them. Uh, so in Pokemon Yellow that I've been playing. One of the things that I really dug is that any Pokemon that I knock out because of the older EV system is just there's value. Of course, there's always value with knocking out a Pokemon since you get experience, but it's that sort of it's like you're always EV training. You're always EV training in Pokemon Yellow and in Gold and Silver, and that has a lot of value to me. It's like it's a much better system. Now, obviously, it probably takes a lot longer to EV train Pokemon that way. In the newer gens now, we have, well, since Diamond and Pearl, basically, with the power items and, with Pokerus even from third generation, it's much easier to EV train Pokemon, in Ruby and Sapphire and after that. But I feel like the system in general in the second generation and first generation games where you can knock out any Pokemon and get like EV training. It's a better system. I mean, obviously they would have to, if they would introduce that again, of course it needs to change. It needs to make it easier, like you have to collect less points to get perfect IVs, or of course give items to boost these sort of stat points that you get, like maybe double the stat points and that kind of stuff. I think in general it's just a much better system, at least for crazy people like me, because with Pokemon Yellow I knew that, okay, you know what, any Pokemon that I knock out is okay. You don't have to worry about what you knock out. You don't have to worry that you're playing your game and you're knocking out Pokemon that give you useless EV points to stats that you don't want. And that's a pretty good thing for me. It really just clicks with me nicely. So I don't know. I mean, like they're probably never gonna do this kind of thing. The formula in the Pokemon games with EVs has been established. You know, ever since the third generation games. Now we've got the seventh generation, and we might even be going to eighth generation soon enough. I mean, in months or something. So I don't think it's gonna change at this point. It works, of course, but it would have been great if I could just train any if I can just knock out any Pokemon and know that I don't have to worry about EVs and shit and that kind of stuff. I mean, it really is like an OCD crazy thing, but it's just a reality for me. And in games like X and Y, I mean X and Y, the Pokemon Bank didn't come out immediately, and I was like, I don't want to wait anymore, damn it. So I just did my best to try to start with a great starter with Fennekin. Of course, I started with Fennekin. Tried to have as great as EVs, as good as EVs as I could on the Pokemon, and the other Pokemon that I've caught. But of course, no matter what you do, if you don't breed, if you don't use the mechanics that Game Freak has enabled us to help breed perfect Pokemon, and no matter what you do, you're not going to get perfect Pokemon that way. But it really did suck because it feels like, man, I trained this Pokemon and they're basically, I trained them for nothing kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not able to do that. And it's Sun and Moon, the same. I didn't use any of the newer Pokemon pretty much till now. Like, I've never even used any of them. I've hatched some eggs of like Alolan Vulpix and Rockruff or Lycanroc and that kind of stuff. But I've never used them. I've never used any Sun and Moon Pokemon. And I remember Black and White, the same thing too with the first games, where they limited you to the Black and White original Pokedex with the new 150 Pokemon. And I was like, okay, we got no choice, but I know these Pokemon that I'm training, they're not going to be competitive. So these are just my thoughts. It'd be great if shit changed. It probably won't, but it would. I think I'd rather have the DV, not the DV system maybe, but even that is kind of cool. It's easier to find Pokemon with high DVs, but just the system with EV training that you can just get the stats of the Pokemon you knock out added to yours. That kind of system is better, I feel like. But anyway, what do you guys think? A lot of you probably won't care, but like I've said, for crazy people like me, I just see the good side of things, the good side of it. But anyways, SaberWolf94, hope you guys enjoyed. You guys tell me what you think. Share this with your friends. Leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time. What's up?